on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. I'm going to answer an age-old question that's been bothering America for a very long time. I've had it asked to me many, many times. The question is, why don't Republicans campaign in the black community? Very good question. We're going to answer that today on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right. Let's get this thing started. You know, I've been asked this question many, many times, and I've done research on it, so you're going to be kind of surprised at my research. Many black Democrats have justified their support for the Democratic Party based upon something that's pretty logical. And, you know, I don't argue with them. It's basically a fact. They say Republicans don't show up. Now, you know, there is some truth to that. Me, myself, I'm saying I don't care if a Republican don't show up, I'm still not going to vote to kill a child. That's just me. Even if a Republican don't show up, I'm not going to vote to allow the educational system to sexually groom children and to give sex change operations to children. That's just me. Even if the Republicans don't show up, I'm not going to allow illegals. I'm not going to vote to allow illegals to come over the border or allow to have my Second Amendment rights and my guns taken away. That's just me. I'm not. Even if Republicans don't show up, I'm not going to allow someone to come and take away my right to religious liberty. I'm just not going to do it. So I think that it is gaslighting and somebody just trying to use an excuse. But these people are caught up in their feelings. And I've always said there are three things that you don't let your feelings affect: your money, politics, and justice. When it comes down to your money, you have to think practically. You know, that's why all this stuff in the black community is so stupid with these stupid Marxists and communists that run the black community. You ever hear that crazy mess, buy black? Buy black? There's no law of economics say buy black or buy color. You're going to buy best product, best service, best price. Those are laws of economics, dog. I'm just trying to tell you. Best product, best service, best price. Buy black, ain't no way in there. And when somebody starts saying buy black, your chicken shack going out of business. You better have the best chicken. You better have the best service for your chicken. You better have the best price for your chicken. And you do that, you're going to have white folks and black folks out of the door buying your chicken. But as soon as you say buy black, even if my chicken tastes nasty, you about to lose your shirt. I'm telling you. But again, you can't tell a bunch of ignorant Marxists that, because they always think that you're supposed to do what you told, boy. They don't know anything about it. They got their laws of economics from the Karl Marx school. What's the Karl Marx school? Gun to your head. Buy black. That's how I heard Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson them in the 80s and 90s. Buy black. Support black businesses. Every last one of them go out of business. You want one to ain't nobody gonna buy black. You crazy? I'm going to take my dollar and I'm going to take it as far as I possibly can because I got children at home to feed. They ain't buying black. If that sucker don't give me what I need, why am I going to give him my money? But again, I digress. But that's one of the problems you got in the black community. They in their feelings. Three things you don't let your feelings get involved in, man. Your money, justice. You remember back in the day, black men ain't done nothing wrong. Bunch of racists go get on the bunch of racist Democrats, get on the jury, hang it. Joker had 10 witnesses that he was at home Sunday night, eating dinner with his family. I don't care. We don't like black folks as a Democrat Party. Hang it. Justice falls apart. And when justice falls apart, you can have no security. You have no security, you can't have any commerce. And that's why the South became economically and educationally and socially backward for over 100 years. Nobody want to come move down here and that's the justice you got. Man, I ain't going down there. People don't have any sense of justice. There's no security. Just do what they want to do. They crazy. So you don't let your feelings get involved in justice, your money, and then the third one, politics. And believe me, Americans, and especially black Americans, it's the triple for black Democrats, are all in their feelings. I mean, you'll have a stupid joker walk up and say, I'm going to vote for him because he's black. What? Why you vote for him? He black and he a Democrat? Would you want to expound on that? You want to talk about taxes? You want to talk about the border? You want to talk about education system, school choice? No! He black and he a Democrat, and that's all I need to know. And then I look at him, you want to wonder why they don't give black folks the right to vote about 50, 60 years ago, so ignorant jokers like you. So the melanin content in his skin and what party he belongs to is going to determine whether or not you give the nuclear football to the president, to this person right here. Yeah! What if he crazy? I don't care. What if he atheist? I don't care. And I got to get up and defend this to the world. That this person right here deserves the right to vote. This ignorant joker right here got a right to make a determination on who runs the free world. And you got them all over the place. All in their feelings. Just, man, you can't talk to them. Logic? I've been voting Democrat my whole life, and I ain't gonna change. But can I tell you at least what the Democrat Party done turned into? I don't want to hear it. Look at it. And the Democrats want to make sure he get a ballot. So right now you got the black community all in their feelings. They'll use any reason to vote for a Democrat, but this is one of their main ones. The Republican Party does not show up in the black community. Therefore, we don't care what they stand for or what the Democrats Party stand for, because this greasy, ugly, immoral preacher showed up, he got my vote. That's all he got to do is show up, bro. That's all he got to do is show up. All right. Don't matter what he said. Don't matter what he said when he showed up. He said, good God, man. And they know this. These jokers know all they got to show up and do it. And like, I think Jim Clyburn in South Carolina. Jim Clyburn show up. Y'all don't think I'm lying. He could show up and do a fish fry or chicken fry or something. Give away free chicken. Everybody give free chicken for a vote for him. Jim is actually buying votes in South Carolina with free chicken. And he don't see any way that this is condescending.
News 2 is your local election headquarters. Congressman Jim Clyburn stomped here in the Low Country earlier tonight. News 2's Kevon Dupree was at the congressman's fish fry in North Charleston.
America's community members and politicians from across the state, including right here in the Low Country, came together for food, music, and fun. Congressman Jim Clyburn hosting his famous fish fry for the first time in 2 years.
This is Jim Clyburn's world famous fish fry. You don't miss it.
The event is usually in Columbia. However, this year it was held right here in the Low Country.
To be able to see this event that is normally held, in our state's capital, being held in my hometown, in the place where I come from, it's kind of bittersweet. I love it.
Several political candidates were in attendance to speak with voters as primary elections quickly approach.
I think it just reinforces that democracy in action, that people are still engaged and people still care about what happens to our state.
Current state senator and candidate for governor Mia McLeod tells me she's running to make the Palmetto State more inclusive for everyone.
My sons don't want to live here as young adults, and I believe we can change that. I just think you shouldn't have to know somebody to be somebody who matters in this state.
Congressman Clyburn says the country is at a crossroads, and the only way for our nation to progress is by voting.
We have got to make some decisions as to whether or not we will continue our pursuit of trying to get to a more perfect union, or we are going to give up on that pursuit and allow this country to become an autocracy.
All candidates at today's event encourage everyone to get out and vote on June 14th for the state primaries.
fish fry, chicken fry, some ignorant mess like that. Oh, you can't get up there for the people. Black folks is getting free chicken. Grease everywhere. He get the vote though. And all of them get heart attacks and diabetes. And then some get them free health care. Man, shoot. I tell you what, Jesus really need to come back real fast. Because that's just, Anyway, so they give away free chicken and pork chop sandwiches. And these folks, bottle of liquor or something like that, and these people say, hey, you got my vote. So Republicans started saying, look, man, it's getting harder and harder and harder to break through this type of ignorance. I mean, you can't. It's time to do something else. Why? Talking and logic don't work. We got to do something else. All right, what do we do? Well, George H.W. Bush was the vice president of Ronald Reagan. Reagan had run his 2 terms, and he couldn't run. This is 1988. George H.W. Bush decides to run for president. He beats Michael Dukakis. He wins in 1988. Lee Atwater, South Carolina. Lee Atwater is like Elvis in Tennessee. Lee Atwater ran his campaign. Lee had been part of a lobbying group in D.C. called Black, Manafort, Stone, and Kelly. And they asked Lee Atwater, the Bush campaign asked him to run his campaign. Now, to show you how deep this group is, Manafort and Stone were involved in Trump's first campaign. Manafort went to prison. Stone got charges put on it, and Trump pardoned both of them. But Manafort did some time. So these jokers have been in deep for a long time. Lee Atwater was an operator. So Lee managed Bush's campaign, and Bush was behind. And Lee Atwater did that Willie Horton ad. For you guys that don't know what the Willie Horton ad is, Willie Horton was in Massachusetts, and Bush's opponent was Michael Dukakis, the governor of Massachusetts. Michael Dukakis was very liberal on crime, liberal on everything, high taxation, everything. So Lee Atwater wanted to let people understand just how liberal he was on crime. So he chose this dude named Willie Horton. Willie Horton was a black guy that was in jail for murder, and Michael Dukakis had given him a furlough. While on furlough, Willie Horton went out and decided he wanted to rape and kill a white woman. Oops! That's bad. But the press got mad because Willie Horton happened to be black and the white woman happened to be white, and they said it was racial. Well, Lee never said anything about him being black. He just showed his picture. Oh, the press went crazy. This is racist. This is racist. It was the truth. George H.W. Bush came back, destroyed the caucus. And the Willie Horton ad became infamous. It was racist. It was racist. It was racist. They darkened Willie Horton's picture. Look, man, Willie Horton was furloughed. He killed this white woman. And you can just say a woman. Michael Dukakis was the one that furloughed him. End of story. Well, Lee had done such a good job. George H.W. Bush said, Lee, I'm going to give you a job. Lee said, thank you. What you want me to do? I'm going to put you over to RNC. Lee said, appreciate it. He said, your main job at the RNC is to take over the House of Representatives from the Democrats. They've had it for 40-some years. We want the Republicans to get it. Lee pondered it. He said, well, the only way we're going to do this is we got to redistricting. This is 1988. Every 10 years, every year ending with 0, the state legislatures convene and meet and redraw congressional districts. It's a constitutional requirement. The state legislatures do it. And usually whatever party owns the state legislatures are going to draw districts that are going to give their party an opportunity to win. It's going to give them an advantage. Well, down south, all of these state legislatures were controlled by Democrats in 1988. So Lee said, well, how am I going to get the Democrats to vote for a Republican Party redistricting plan? Well, Lee got smart. You know what he did? Lee, so I'm going to go to the black Democrats. These shady Negroes ain't no good, right? Yeah, I'm going to make them a deal. And I'm going to tell them, if you vote for our redistricting plan, and this redistricting plan favors Republicans, I know you're going to say, but look, this is the deal. It favors Republicans. But if you vote for it, we're going to double your numbers in the state house with this redrawn districting plan of ours. And we're going to give you a black congressman with this redistricting plan. And on top of that, and this is why Republicans don't go into the black community any longer. This is it. On top of that, we will never come into your districts and campaign again. And the black Democrats said, you got yourself a deal. And they went with the Republican redistricting plan, cut the white Democrats out, and in 1994, Newt Gingrich took over as Speaker of the House, and the Republicans have had the House the majority of the time ever since. It was a master stroke. Here's the thing, y'all. Lee Atwater did that deal in 1990. You know Lee Atwater died in 1991? Never saw it come to fruition. But from the grave, Lee Atwater changed America. Lee Atwater, blues guitar player, political mind extraordinaire. He died of a brain tumor. And I remember when Lee died, I was in South Carolina. Lee knew he was dying. He apologized for all the mean stuff he did. I think he apologized for the Willie Horton ad because he didn't want people to think he was a racist. But yeah, Lee died young. But man, he had a political mind. But he came up with the plan. He and Ben Ginsberg. Now, Ben Ginsberg is still living. And when they asked Ben Ginsberg about the plan, Ben Ginsberg said, yeah, it happened. You know what the name of it was? They said, what? It's Operation Rat, F-U. Yeah, Operation Rat. Rat, F-U-K. Yeah. Because he said the Democrats blanked themselves. The black Democrats gave the Republican Party control over the House of Representatives. And every year, every 10 years, the Republicans and the black Democrats sat down and we draw these districts again in favor of white Republicans and segregated districts for black Democrats. Jim Clyburn's district came out of this in South Carolina. And right now in South Carolina, there are 7 congressional districts. 6 of them are Republican and white, and 1 supermajority black district. Almost every black person in South Carolina has been drawn into Jim Clyburn's district. And that's how Jim Clyburn wanted. And the Republican Party doesn't go anywhere in that district because Jim and the Democrats, the black Democrats, are going to come with them every 10 years. Now, there's a fly in the ointment with this thing, y'all. Guess who it was called? Donald Trump. Trump wasn't part of this. So this last campaign, guess where Donald Trump went? Donald Trump went into the black community campaigning. Oh, and the black Democrats started calling the white Republicans, what's going on here? Donald Trump is breaking the deal. And Donald Trump said, I wasn't part of no deal. No. Yeah, all this is written in my book, 25 Lies. If you want to read it, get the book and read it. It's all documented. Can't be argued with. First time you've heard it, isn't it? Yeah, I told it to Tucker Carlson on his show. Tucker had never heard it. Told it to Sean Hannity. Sean had never heard it. I never told it to anybody that heard it. But if you want the documentation and you want everything laid out in front of you so you can make this argument without worrying about anybody saying you lying, get 25 Lies. The book has sold tens of thousands of copies. People read it, it blows their mind, and that's why. Go on Amazon, man. Read the reviews on it. It's like the old song, didn't I blow your mind this time, didn't I? Every chapter blows your mind. The truth just flows out of it. And that's just one of the chapters. So if you ever ask the question again, why the Republican Party doesn't go into the black community, that's why. Republicans have made a deal with black Democrats that they'll vote for their redistricting plans every 10 years if Republicans keep those majority black districts, keep them segregated and keep white folks out, and then if they agree to not come in and fund any Republican, black or white, that's running. Check out the Republicans running into the majority black districts. Find me one that they finance properly. Find him. You'll find these black Democrats got millions of dollars in their coffers, and that poor Republican, black or white, probably can't get gas money. The RNC won't give him a dime. You know what? Operation Rat, F you blank. Check it out. You'll see. I dare you to do the research. Go into the FEC website and find out what people ran in these majority black districts against people like Jim Clyburn and Benny Thompson and Maxine Waters. See how much money they got from the RNC if they got a penitence. See how much money the black Democrats got. Millions. See what the RNC did for these for these Republicans. Nothing. How do you change it? Simple. The people are going to have to start giving money to the RNC until they change this terrible practice. And black folks look around, election day, oh, they'll see these greasy black Democrats all around them and won't see a Republican anywhere because Republicans ain't got the money to even show up. They see no commercials, they see no yard signs, they see no campaigning. And there's an old vaudevillian term, y'all, that says 90% of any gig is just showing up. And because of Operation Rat, if you blank, oh, I wish I could say it, Republicans just don't show up. And black people, and especially the Iron Triangle, use that to tell black people they don't care nothing about you. Because look at the Democrats out here. They all here and they all love you. Where the Republicans at? When I was running for office back in 2000 in Jim Clyburn's district, I was in Charleston, South Carolina. Something that happened, I think a police officer killed a black boy. And I was in Columbia, and Charleston was part of the district. The black area of Charleston was part of the district. And Robert Ford was the black congressman down there. Robert Ford was a troublemaker. He got kicked out of, he finally got kicked out of the Senate in South Carolina and almost went to jail. Had charges on him. But he had to resign from the Senate. But he was one of those rabble-rousing troublemakers. And I heard that they were going to have a rally at the church that night. Somebody called me from Charleston, told me I needed to be there. So I drove down to the rally, and I was in the church. Everybody was giving speeches. Then Robert Ford stood up, and of course he said, you know, all the Democrats are here tonight. All the Democrats are here tonight. But ain't no Republicans here. Ain't no Republicans here. And I stood up, and I said, I'm here. And everybody looked around. And he said, who are you? I said, I'm Vince Everett Ellison. I'm running for Congress. And you know what happened? The whole church stood up and started clapping. He gave me a standing ovation. They looked at me like I was a Martian because they'd never seen a Republican before. And believe me, the Republican Party did not help me 1 inch in that election. And I didn't know that Operation Rat, you know, what was going on. I was young and I was naive. Oh, but now I'm a true player now. I see all the moves, even before they make them. If you want to listen in politics during an election, you just sit down at my table one night and watch the news with me. I'll take you to school. I know these people. And politics makes strange bedfellows. And these people are horrible. But we're going to change that. So now that you have this information, you spread it. Tell your neighbor. Hell, man, tell them to watch my show. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them to comment. Spread the news. Because information like this is going to be coming all year round. You go to my website, VinceSpeaksTruth.com. In it, you'll find my great book. I told you about 25 Lies has all this documented. I mean, the book was distributed by Simon & Schuster. It was fact-checked. All of it's true. Yeah, it'll blow your mind. My documentary, We Go to Hell From Me. My great book, Crime, Inc., also Simon & Schuster distributed. Yeah. My books are there for you to read, for you to share. The Iron Triangle is there. Get it, read it. And then The End of Tolerance, my last one. It's going to really shake you up. People, we're going to change the world. But first, I got to wake you up. Hope I did you some good today. Join me tomorrow for another Vince Everett Ellison show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website, and on my website, you're going to see a lot of great stuff, man. You're going to see that we got t-shirts, we got caps, you got my books, my documentaries, you got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new t-shirts, we're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it, make it #1. If you got my first 3, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good, and it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We can no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the t-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.